Okay.
I feel your excitement.
I do.
Like bursting out.
Okay.
We are Sex Bob-Omb! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the bar with me, Benji and Anthony here. Today we're going to be doing a Throwback Thursday of
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Came out in 2010 and directed by Edgar Wright, and you know him from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, so he's done other great movies. This is actually one of, if not my top movie of all time. I really like this movie. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. So Scott Pilgrim vs. the World actually starts off with Scott, played by Michael Cera. He's a 22-year-old nerdy kind of
I don't
weird.
know what he does for a living.
know. He actually doesn't do anything. He's in a band called Sex Bob-Ombs. And that's all he pretty much does. He doesn't work. He lives with a roommate named Wallace, which is something very entertaining later on, which is you're gonna like. But the point of the story is kind of like a romantic comedy. It's about him actually going after this one girl named Ramona, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Sorry about that. And it's kind of weird because it's not your typical romantic comedy. It's not your typical,
But there's also knives. Don't forget that he's also dating a girl right before he gets to Ramona.
Yeah, so I was going to get into that a little bit different from the story. But the reason I kind of... The one thing I don't like that kind of hurt me, because this was one of my favorite movies, is that it didn't do as well as it wanted it to do. There will be a little bit of spoilers in this movie, so just let you know, it is a 2010 movie, but I do recommend everybody to go watch it.
And this is a sleeper hit. This is something that you should add to your list.
And that's the thing. Like, that's the reason it kind of hurt me, like, personally, was because a lot of people didn't like this film. And I know why, and we get into more detail on that. But the one thing I really liked was the characters. Every character in this film
brings it
perfect.
Yes.
There was never a part where I didn't love this movie. Even the villain played by was Gideon G-Man, played by Jason Schwartzman. I loved him. He was the perfect bad guy. He was kind of like this weird, douchey, cool boy.
The guy you love to hate.
Yeah, but he wasn't even really cool. He was kind of like that nerdy.
Thought he was cool.
That nerdy cool guy that knew how to do all the math problems. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. But the reason that's why I love this film. It was made for me. It was made for the geeky part of me, where it had video game references left and right. And
don't forget the great music. There's a lot of great music.
So it's a very punkish kind of style, and the cool thing about it is that, like, it's their own. So every one of these tracks they played. Michael Cera actually played the bass. Kim actually played the drums. A lot of them did
that.
Yeah, the talent, he sang some of the music as well. So it was very, very cool. Nothing was really used. Like, it wasn't big known songs. Like, all of these songs were made for the movie,
and they're great songs.
And it was really cool because even though it's a romantic comedy, it had action. It had this funny scene to it.
The pace was like, there are moments where you're like, oh my God, things are coming out. And if you blink, you'll miss a joke. And that's something that I really loved about this film.
And I think that's why a lot of people didn't like it, because it was that pace. It was too dramatic at points, It was a big scene because, he's after this girl, and the way to get to this girl is you have to fight 7 evil exes. Like, who does that, But that's the cool thing about it. I really want to know what you like. Who was your favorite character of the movie?
I actually liked Nice, played by Ellen Wong. She was just, first of all, this movie is fantastic. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it. I remember seeing it at the theaters, and I was like,
I saw it 3 times.
I saw it once at the theater, and I was like, it was all right. I recently saw it this week for our review, and I was like, wow, I had no idea this movie was this good. I actually saw more things this time around, and I enjoyed it. But my favorite character, back to that, is Knives. She's just like this little fangirl, and we've all known people like this. Every people, all characters that you see in this movie, we've all had friends like that in college or at work or whatever. But and that's what makes this movie so real.
Yeah.
But she's just cute, and she's energetic, and she gets her heart broken, and you feel for her, and it's just wow.
And that's the thing. The main character, Scott, he is, like we said in the beginning, he's just this nobody that kind of doesn't do anything to have fun. But he actually gets his heart broken a while back, and I think that's why he is the way he is. He's kind of scarred.
I think you're giving him a little leg room there, because, I mean, I don't know.
What he did was kind of messed up. But if you really think about it, he had no intentions of
hurting her.
Exactly. He actually liked her. He actually did like her.
But then
so
this other Ramona came along, which is like a shining star.
And we've all had that. I think everybody could relate to that. We've all had that one girl or boy that we look at and we're like, oh my God, she's so out of my league. I need her in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And only a certain amount of people could say they've actually done and went for that.
Right.
But that was the cool part about it. To me, it was cool how he fought for her, how much he cared for her. He went through the choreography and the fighting scene. So there is fighting, there's martial arts in this one. A lot of like different video game adaptations of fights where, you know, one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie where this electronic Yeti and these like DJ dragons come and start fighting. Stuff like that's the cool thing about it. Big action scenes like that are really cool. But at the same time, you feel the love, you feel the passion, the music. I remember in that scene where they fight the Yeti, when he's walking and he sees knives and the snow is snowing and it's black and you feel the passion behind it. It's giving me chills thinking about it. Stuff like that, little scenes like that. That's what really catches my eye. It plays with your emotions in the sense of laughing and also feeling for these characters that, you know, got cheated on or you know, broke hearts or, you know, not getting what you want. When stuff like that really intrigued me about this movie. And I remember watching it in trailers. I remember watching it, I was like, wow, is this a video game movie? What is? I have no idea this was going to be a love interest movie.
Right. It kind of sneaks up on you, right?
Exactly. It blew my mind. It's something like The Wedding Singer, where it's supposed to be funny, it's enjoyable, but at the same time, you feel the comedy behind what like Adam Sandler did, kind of thing. And that's what I really feel. Even though Michael Cera is questionable of acting, in my opinion, he really,
or as a lead at least.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. He really played this movie very well. Like he played that quirky, douchey, fun guy that everybody loved and hated at the same time.
Mm-hmm. We've all been there. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I really enjoyed was like the added graphics onto it. Like, so when he's playing bass, you see like the D come out of his guitar. There's a really funny joke where Wallace, which is played by Kieran Culkin, which is Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Yeah.
He opens the door and Knives is like, "Is Scott there?" And he's like, "Oh no, he just left." And then you see Scott break through the window. I thought that is like, to this day, still such a funny scene.
And it was like adding those characters. That's what really brought Scott Pilgram and Michael Cera up with those supporting cast. Was a really cool thing. How they kind of interacted with him, you know, telling him, "Hey, you're the scum of the earth. Can you not be the scum of the earth?" To the point where he actually apologizes to all of them, and you can see how much they care for him. You know, a spoiler alert: there's a scene where someone passes away, and when that happens, you feel the passion behind the supporting cast and how they love that. And I think that's what's really cool, that none of the points in this movie felt slow to me. None of them didn't feel like I cared. I even wanted to know more, to the point where I went and read the comic books. I read all 6 of them. Nice. And it goes into detail about all 7 of the exes. And that's what's really cool. Like you get a mini version of the exes here and there. You know, you get little side stories, but to know more about them and how they feel, and even the connection with Knives. That's something that I kind of was a little disappointed with this movie. They just have an alternate ending. If you ever buy the Blu-ray, or if you ever had a chance to watch that alternate ending, it changes your thought of how should it have ended from where it ended this time. And I think that's what's really cool, that it's not, this movie wasn't only relatable to me, and I think to a lot of people that haven't seen it, but you get this adaptation of this rebellious, geeky popcorn movie that I feel like could have been a great hit if just people would have given it a chance and put that aside of like, oh, video games are dumb, or oh, Michael Cera is not a good actor kind of thing. Like, I think this one came like right after Juno, like a little bit around that time where like Juno came out. So
really, no, I think Juno came out after.
Well, it was something where Michael Cera wasn't big.
He was just starting.
Exactly. So you didn't really see him. I think you see him in like in Arrested Development, which is in that show where he was like a quirky kid, but he actually did give a really good scene on this. And I think that's why I feel like everybody should go watch this movie. It's those sneakers, it's those like quiet movies, independent films that a lot of people don't watch, that I do recommend watching it. So since I personally love this movie, I want to hear what you thought about it, your score.
I give this movie I want to say 8.5, but I'm going to give it a 9. And for the reason why I want to give it a 9 is because this movie is like such a sleeper hit. The music, I actually was talking to Ben earlier today, and I thought that Scott looked a little bit like Beck. And I found out during research for this film that Beck does the songs for, what's the name of the band?
A Sex Bob-Omb. Sex Bob-Ombs.
So Sex Bob-Omb. So, and actually I was like, wow, Beck is one of my favorite artists. So I was like, oh, even better. This movie is a must watch. I really, really, really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, and mine's going to be a little bit higher, of course. It's going to be a 10 out of 10.
Surprise.
But the thing is, it's not this Academy Award winning movie. It's not this, passionate story where,
you're gonna get up and run a marathon after.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not something that happened in the real world, but it's something where it does happen to people. Yeah. You could relate to it. You've been cheated on, or you cheated on someone.
Is so relatable.
Yeah, or you had your heart broken, stuff like that. And the cool thing is, not only does it show you those heartwarming feelings, it shows you this cool side of the struggle of fighting for something, going out of your way and not being this awkward, quirky person and overcoming those battles. And at the end, successfully doing it because you fought for it. You fought for what you want. Yeah. And because of that, I give this a 10 out of 10. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Benji and Anthony here again. Thank you for joining us at the bar for our Throwback Thursday of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. In the comments down below, let us know if you guys watched the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Did you guys like it? Did you guys dislike it? Let us know. Also, maybe let us know of some of your adaptation of comic books that you've seen in movies out there, even video game ones. I know there's a couple bad out there, so let us know about that in the comments.
Don't forget to share this video on all platforms. We are on Tumblr, we are on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, there's links down below. Go ahead and click those. Alright guys, if you could please give us a thumbs up in the video and a like to let us know that you guys liked the video, that'd be cool. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome reviews here at the bar. Alright guys, have a good one.